Hello there! Praise be to RNGesus and welcome to another Caliber video on the channel. Going over the classes. Check out the channel for more of them. This one is going to be about the Medic class. Overall, the Medic class comes in your words. I can't use words all of a sudden. Your weapons are going to be between SMGs and shotguns mostly, with the exception of a couple others. Now, medics are the healers. They are the white mages of the group. Your role as a medic should be prioritizing keeping your teammates alive, with occasionally shooting at things. You don't have super range on guns, and you should prioritize healing. Heal. Do not be at the front of the pack rushing. Stop that, medics that I see doing. You get higher revive syringes than everyone else at the base start of the game for your character, so that's a plus for you. You should prioritize picking up players, and other players should be saving their syringes to pick you up. Now, your healing is generally divided into two categories. Single target healing for high value, or multi-target healing for lesser value and generally a smaller cooldown, but you're healing more than one target. Again, not talking about recruits. We'll start off with Dead. I do not like Dead as a medic. He is a single target healer. He gets his little SR2M here. He gets smoke grenades. And then there's his ability. His ability heals for like 34. It's not 34, you know? It's not bad. But generally with single target healers, you get a big cooldown. I don't think 34 is good for his cooldown timer. He also can heal himself with it, if need be. But in terms of single target, and in general, I don't think Dead is very good. He is available for credits, and it's also part of a bundle if you finish the tutorial. And on all the characters, a bundle will come available that you can purchase for coin, and he is a part of that bundle if you're looking to for each class. I'd say he is the weakest operator of that bundle. Again, I do not think Dead is unfortunately a very good medic. Ravnik is another single target healer. He gets it at 9 here. He gets flashbang grenades that can be used for stunning and PvP mostly. PvE stunning is less effective. He gets, in my opinion, one of the better single target healing. His is pretty much hold on a person until that person's healed, i.e. you can go from 0 to 100% on an operator as long as he's got the stamina cost to do it. Unfortunately, caveat to this is he cannot heal himself. So, generally an operator loadout for medics are they bring stimulant to regain their stamina so that, you know, they can keep everyone alive for longer by regaining their stamina, which is tied to their ability use. But Travnik, unfortunately, has got to bring med packs so that he can heal himself, because there's no other way for other operators to heal him. He's the healer. So, I'd say he's pretty good at his job at healing. It's just unfortunate that he cannot heal himself, so if you get messed up, either in PvP or PvE, there is no way for you to use your ability for yourself after you see somehow really super turtley and hidey somewhere. But I'd say he's okay overall, just because again that he's got one of the best single target healing ability. Really good. I like when I get Travniks. It's also available for credits. I don't know if I said that because my brain is not working right now. Is. He's also available for credits. Bard with the awesome SSO legendary outfit that I will say every time I come to one of their operators. Bard, I believe, is available for credits as well. Now, Bard is a multi-target healer. Bard is also the only asshole in the game with a burst fire weapon. And it entirely depends on your perspective and preference of burst fire weapons. I do not like burst fire weapons. It's a travesty that the MP5 in the game was given the burst fire. It's also worth noting a hidden ability is because anything in this game that's usually on your characters is not just cosmetic. He does actually have that dual mag does come into play, so every other reload is actually faster than what the reloads actually quick. But he gets smoke grenades and he gets the Inspire ability. Inspire ability actually comes with two uses. You could either tap it to give everyone, no matter how far away they are, a temporary 20% reduction in damage, which is pretty good for doing like initial pushes. Or you can hold it and activate a area of effect around yourself that anyone within is going to start recovering health. Overall, I'd say Bard is pretty good for a multi-target one. He has to be on the move with his team though, but his Inspire ability comes with twofold where, again, if you can help mitigate damage to your team as well as heal them. Overall, I'd say he's a pretty good choice for either or. If you're using him for PvP though, be aware you are, again, using a burst fire weapon versus usually fully automatic weapons. Which of course comes down to your preference. Karavai, I believe, is available for credits. He is one of the few ones that actually gets a rifle. He gets actually like the most like weapon attachments I think in the game. Because fortunately, as you can see here, he starts with 20 rounds and he doesn't get upgraded to 30 round mags until his last upgrade. But till then, he gets like a stock, he gets a sight, he gets a laser, he gets a foregrip, and he gets a suppressor. And then extended mags, technically. So if you are looking to be a more aggressive medic, because he has a assault rifle, he has further range than most of his medic brethren. He is also a multi-target healer, but it has a very small range. He gets smoke grenades, which eventually he can also use to help his stamina recovery with one of his traits. And he gets a throwable healing grenade, essentially. That very quick on cooldown and multi-target healing. Got very small radius, so you kind of have to have everyone nut to butt if you want to heal a bunch of people at once. But quick cooldown for a modest amount of health. Actually, one of the better healing abilities, especially for multi-targeting. And I just read this. I didn't know it apparently removes the burning effect. Neat. He also eventually gets abilities to actually turn his healing grenade into, well, an offensive weapon. It inflicts poison to anyone that's in it, as well as... can also inflict trapped. I swear. That's right here, isn't it? Yep. It will reduce your poison damage, but the enemy will stop moving. So, somehow time a healing grenade on an enemy very well. Now they are trapped, taking a little bit of poison damage. Yeah, they're stuck where they're at, allowing either you to push or someone else to push. I don't know its usefulness in PvE because PvE you're generally just stuck healing everyone. Everyone else gets hit all the time. But he is a good medic overall. Mikola is available for credits. He is on the cheaper end. He's like a 20k credit guy. He gets a shotgun, which, as you can see by my numbers, eventually gets increase in damage, but he also eventually gets the ability to where his shotgun hits from the shotgun inflicts slowed, which movement speed goes down. That is good for both PvE and PvP. PvP obviously to slow down players out in the open because just one pellet needs to hit someone and they get slowed. PvE, it's helpful for the shotgun rushers and other rushers to shoot them because they like zigzag like monsters. They can't really do it that well when they're slowed down. He gets flashbang grenades, good for stunning and PvP, not so much PvE. He's a group healer. I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't have the script in front of me. He deploys a med bag on the ground that will heal all those that enter it for X amount of charges. Not on a time base. The med bag will stay down until the charges are consumed or another one is cast. It is pretty good in terms of group healing. It gets a pretty big radius and also eventually gets buffed to where friendlies in it get faster reload. So he is a pretty good healer overall. If you're going for God, I cannot use words. For group healing, his is of course not mobile and it's placeable. You gotta wait on the option. But overall, a nice choice, and he's very cheap. Chats is only available for the store in the game. It has to be bought with money. It's a part of a bundle, but they have currently been breaking up that bundle and selling it on a week-to-week basis. Currently, it is the last week for one of the for like them using the last operator, so I don't know if when the next week rolls around, because I can't tell the future if they're going to continue to keep breaking up the bundle. Otherwise, he's only a part of that bundle, and it's a rather expensive bundle. Jats is a single target healer. He gets an MP7. It's actually got a little bit more range than his other SMG user friends, and it slaps. Slaps in both PvP and PvE. He gets flash grenades, which have a longer stun duration, I think. I don't know. I've hovered over every each and every one of them, and I'm probably wrong. But either way, stun grenades good for PvP. His single healing is a throwing one, which is great because you don't have to get up to someone. You just toss it. It stays on the floor. It's not instantly used like Karavai's healing grenade. But again, it is only single, which means it comes down pretty heavy cooldown in terms of trying to get everyone healed up. It eventually also gains the ability to grant poisoned and bleeding. Bleeding is more so for PvP, and then poison is likely mostly for PvE. Overall, he is a decent choice, especially if you're looking for a weapon that is out a bit more, but there are others available that are not just for real money. But he's a good choice. Monk. I'm biased against Monk. And I'll get to it when I get to his ability. He is available for credits, I believe. He also uses an MP7. So again, MP7 kind of wrecks. Not a bit further to SMGs. He gets smoke grenades. Now, his ability, thing that I don't like, is single target healing. It can also be used on yourself for healing a little bit less and giving you a buff to your movement speed. The thing is, though, I've had his ability fail. As in, the person was not healed when I went to go heal them, but the ability was counted as cast, so the cooldown went into effect. And I'm sitting here with not able to heal for 20 seconds and consuming stamina and just not being useful. I don't know what the deal is. I haven't touched them if they've made any adjustments, but when I was using Monk, his ability was failing. Therefore, I was not fulfilling my role as a medic. I was not having a good time. That might get adjusted in the future to maybe hopefully his ability is more consistent, works better. I don't know if it's whatever, but when I was using it, he was the only one that's able to fail his ability. And you have to interact with someone, so it's weird. But I cannot recommend Monk due to my personal experiences with it. Unless you're looking for that MP7 action. Watson. Watson actually recently got adjusted. He is a rotation operator, so he is available for coin unless he's in rotation, which he'll be available for 55,000. He's actually right here. He's actually in rotation right now. He had to have buffs to his shotgun. I think he had the buffs to his mine, and he had buffs to his ability. We'll all get to. Of course, shotgun, run of the mill. I think it was his headshot. Oh, what? They switched him to a slug? I think they swapped him to a slug. That's what it was. Yeah, those are some damage differences, and it's clearly by ×1. No, I didn't have patch notes or anything else in front of me. You think I get paid to do this? No. He gets mines to actually throw around, which will eventually get buffed in his tree to actually cause effects. And his main thing is he has a very high single target healing ability, but unfortunately, it immobilizes both himself and the person he's healing. So they're not able to get out of the ability very quickly. I believe they've now made it so you can cancel it out. So if you're done healing someone, you both just stop being trapped for like X amount of time. It actually has a fairly quick cooldown compared to most of you single target healers. When you are trapped in it, you do have the Inspire effect. His is a bit higher than Bard's with 25%, and I believe it actually goes up even further in here by an additional 25. So not being able to move, but you are taking reduced damage, you could possibly find a use for it if you time it right. But it is hard for me to say. I haven't seen anyone use him since the changes and buffs to him. So he is a use at your own risk kind of deal. I have not seen too much of him since the changes. Maybe we will since he's in rotation generally, especially because close to the weekend. Generally, some people pick him up by then. Start using him. Velour! I like Velour. Velour is another rotation one. He is available for coin unless he's in rotation. Pays 55,000 credits. Maybe pay up. Velour gets P90. 50 rounds of just high rate of fire. You're throwing it crap. Even if you're not within range of something, you are hazing the hell out of it with the low damage. Now, since he gets smoke grenades, and since he's part of the French faction, some of the French operators have an armor buff where they take less damage to arms and legs. Here. Now, his healing ability. It is single target healing, but it recovers a slate of armor. Now, he's got, of course, a heavier cooldown, but also a slate of armor. You don't have to use armor plates as much. He eventually gets buffed. I believe it's right here. Yes. If someone's already at full health and armor, when they pick up his healing bag, it actually gives them a free slot of armor. Only one. So if you have someone that's at 3 armor, and they pick it up, and that's their max, they will actually have 4 slots of armor. It's a temporary one, so they won't recover it with reusing armor plates. But it's also useful for helping out your less armor-inclined people, like some of the assault and snipers, where if you cast this ability, like say at the beginning of the round of P-match or in P at the start of the round, they can get that second plate of armor that they normally don't have. Overall, I like Velour just because he is the only operator currently that is able to recover armor for free by just using his ability. Alright. So, I butcher this every time. Charcheret. I'm just going to call her Sherry for the purposes of this, saying this her name multiple times. She is part of the Israeli faction. The Israelis are only available for purchase from the online store. No coin, no credits, only real money. As with most of the Israeli operators, she is geared mostly towards PvP. They recently all got hit with some adjustments, I don't believe her ammo bag got touched, which I'll cover when I get to it. So, she is also one of the few people who gets an assault rifle, so she's got a bit more range than her other SMG and shotgun users. Her ammo bag that she can deploy can either be used for recovering a mag for a primary weapon or secondary weapon, or eventually in her tree, which is what people use for, and this is what got adjusted, she lays down one now, it used to be two, bag to replenish gear, i.e. special gear being grenades, rockets, generally stuff like that. So it's very useful in PvP that someone can recover a rocket or something that they used in a round previously and possibly be used to gain an advantage for another round. It's helpful in PvE as well, but more so in PvP where it's kind of more the special gear is used for crutches and finishes. She is a single target healer and is one of the better single target healers, where I'd put her up there with Travnik in terms of single target healing, that she recovers. You go for I can use words, I swear I can. She can recover someone from 1 to 100% HP. She unfortunately, just like Travnik, cannot heal herself at all, so she should be burning med packs for herself since no one else can heal her, and that leaves you at a disadvantage of being able to cast your ability as much, since you're eventually going to run out of stamina. But she actually has an ability, and I believe it's her last one, where you're only draining stamina when you're healing, and you can actually link this on someone and the linked target gets healing and eventually gets damage reduction while still being linked, and your stamina is only being used when you're healing. So just be linked to someone, and eventually her last ability, when your linked person is killing things, you regain stamina. So she becomes very good in PvE now, where the linked person is murdering things, getting back her stamina, allowing her to heal everyone else, either before or after fighting, with the ability to finding, like, generally assault or support and sticking next to them, linking to them, and having them get a bunch of kills, and getting back her stamina. She's a very good medic. Kind of have to wait until 15 where she becomes, like, very good tier. Very good. Until then, it's kind of a little bit of a situational struggle bus. Still good for, like, PvP. PvE, less so until she gets to that 15 where she's getting stamina regen. Miguel. I have a personal bias against Miguel. I hate Miguel as a medic. I think he's one of the worst as a medic. And I'll get to that after talking about why people usually like Miguel. Miguel was available in a previous season pass. He is currently able to be purchased on the store, because this is obviously recorded way after that season pass is over with, so if you're watching this, you're likely only able to get him in the store. Possibly with an event that's coming up, maybe he'll be able to be earned again instead of having to pay money for him. He gets a semi-auto shotgun, which eventually, and this is why people like him, is he's more of a PvP oriented operator because of fire rounds. So you are shooting constant tick damage. They adjusted these so that you have less pellets, and I think they reduced the armor penetration even more. Because all it needs is one pellet to hit, and now you've cast that target on fire. They are taking that tick damage. And you are also getting technically points in PvE and PvP for, assists and all that. He gets less syringes than his other medic counterparts because of his special equipment here, the injection pistol. There's a ranged revive needle. Shoot that, and as long as it hits someone that's downed, and don't accidentally leave it equipped and shoot it at an enemy that's alive doing nothing and wasting your special equipment. Probably not what I did in one match. But yeah, it is a ranged pickup, so if you can't get to someone but you can see them, have an injection pistol shot, get them up. Useful for PvE and PvP for that things. Mostly for PvP if someone hasn't been executed but they're right by the enemy and the enemy's trying to push, shoot it at them, now all of a sudden you got a guy to their flank. Now we get to why I hate Miguel. I hate his medical drone ability. He deploys a drone so he's a multi-target healer, in a weird sense that it's not actually targeting multiple people unless it's done healing someone. So it'll go to the closest person hurt, start healing them, and then when they're done healing, the drone is supposed to then seek out the next person and start healing them. The thing is, the drone follows the person. Someone can take the drone, walk very far away with it, say they go back for ammo, or maybe they're pushing ahead, away from the team. Now, when that drone's finished, it takes a long time for it to come back. Start healing the next person, if it does. I've seen it get stuck on things multiple times. I've seen it actually stick to the person because that person keeps getting hurt. So someone that's at like 80 out of 100 health keeps getting like hit a little bit, and the drone stays on them. Meanwhile, the guy with 10 health is sitting back here like, I guess I'll go fuck myself and not get healed because the drone's over there and I'm over here. So I play mostly PvE, and that's why I hate his ability, is because of that. It's good for when you're holding out, so everyone's like in the same area. But when moving to the objectives and doing other things that isn't holding out, his ability fucking sucks in my opinion. I hate it. Hate him as a medic. Good as a PvP aggressor though. Because again, shotgun, fire rounds, big owies. But PvP wise, sure. He's good. Good for that. And that'll do it for the medics. Medics are essential, and aside from dead and my personal bias against Miguel, which again Miguel can be used for PvP, those are the only two that I'd like recommend against. Everyone else is kind of know your role, and as long as you know what you're doing and can do it well, pick whichever one you like. Pick what gun you want to use, whether you want SMG, shotgun, or one of the two people that got assault rifles. Take your pick, but overall it's just a matter of knowing your weaknesses and what you can do. As a single target healer, you're going to have a lot of cooldown times. As a multi-target one, try to get everyone together. Most people pay attention when a medic points at the ground and does the look here man. Like that generally means like, alright, the medic's doing something, go over there and get your heals if you're doing it. You just gotta know what you're doing. So, everyone else, good choice overall. If you dead, fuck you, Miguel. As always, have a nice day, and praise be to our Jesus.